You will need to take your cat to the vet for regular checkups and in the event he gets sick. If you want to spare your cat the stress of a carrier, you have several options to do so. While not using a carrier can be more comfortable for your cat, many vets dislike having cats in their office without a crate, and it can be a safety issue if your cat is not properly trained. Ask your vet whether they require you to use a carrier. Part 1. Securing the cat without a carrier. 1. Try a sports bag. You need to make sure your cat is not disruptive in the vet's office. Simply carrying your cat in your arms can pose a problem, as cats are hard to secure when frightened. If you don't want to use a carrier or don't have one alternative is a sports bag. Sports bags are bags designed to carry clothing and other equipment to and from the gym or other sporting events. Many sports bags have nylon material lining the sides, filled with holes that allow for a cat to breathe easy through the bag. Owners who feel carriers are uncomfortable for cats sometimes use a sports bag made from nylon to carry their cat in from the vet. Make sure you find a sports bag with at least some nylon or mesh sides so your cat can breathe and see his environment when being transported to the vet's office. You also want a sports bag with a secure, flat solid bottom. A bottom that is not supported will sink in when you pick up the bag, causing discomfort for your cat. Many owners equip sports bags with toys, blankets, and other items their cat might find comforting. 2. Use a harness. A cat harness is a device owners use to walk their cats. If you want to take your cat to the vet without a carrier, you could consider using a harness. Make sure you purchase a harness specifically designed for cats. Harnesses designed for small dogs might be dangerous for a cat to use. Let your cat familiarize himself with the harness before you strap him in. Gently drape it over his body. Let him sniff and explore it. Then, gently guide his body into the harness and secure the buckle. Some cats may resist, so you might need another person to help restrain your cat. Allow him to wear the harness for a bit, under supervision, with no leash. Once he seems comfortable in the harness, to the point he's no longer wriggling or attempting to unfasten it, you can secure the leash. Practice walking your cat around the house for a week or so before taking him outside on the leash. Let him adjust to the restraints and wait until he's no longer pulling or resisting before taking him outside with the leash on. Once your cat is comfortable being walked inside, practice taking him on short walks around the block. You should be practicing for a few months before you attempt to take your cat to the vet's office. Remember, a vet's office will have a lot of unusual stimulations, such as ringing phones, strange people, and other animals. You need to practice a lot before you can safely take him to the vets with a harness. 3. Try a basket or bed, if your cat is docile. If your cat is older and particularly docile, you may be able to secure him in a basket or bed. However, this is only a good option if you're sure of your cat's temperament. You do not want to risk the safety of your cat and other people and animals present in the waiting room by having your cat jump out and cause a stir. Use this method with caution, as even the most docile cats can get spooked in an unfamiliar or frightening environment such as the vet's office. Part 2. Getting your cat used to the car. 1. Start at a young age, if possible. If you want to take your cat to the vet without a crate, you need to get him used to being in the car without his crate. If you get a cat as a kitten, it's much easier to introduce him to the car. Kittens tend to adjust to new experiences much faster than adult cats. If possible, start training your cat to travel when he's less than a year old. If your cat is older, you can still train him to travel in the car safely. It just might take a little more time. 2. Introduce your cat to the car gradually. Slow introductions work best, as a car can be a frightening environment for a cat. Introduce him to the car in intervals. Bring your cat into the car when it's not running. Keep him calm and give him treats and attention as he adjusts to a new environment. Spend a couple of weeks letting him explore the car in short intervals and familiarizing himself with this new territory. 3. Practice driving before a vet visit. Once your cat is used to the car, you should transition into driving with him. First, try turning on the engine and letting him get used to the noises it makes. After he's used to the engine, practice short drives. Even driving the car around the block is enough. As your cat adjusts to being in the car, you can practice longer drives. It's a good idea to do a few test drives to the vet's office to get your cat used to the route before any appointments. Use positive reinforcement in the form of treats and praise throughout the process. 4. Take safety precautions. Even the most calm cats can cause problems in the car if frightened. Alternatives to carriers, like bags or baskets, can be used to secure a cat so he does not cause problems for you driving. You can also have a harness or strap to safely secure him to the seat. You do not want your cat to crawl under your feet or the brake, gas pedal while you're driving, as this could easily cause an accident. 5. Get your cat used to public transportation. If you do not have a car, you'll need to get your cat used to public transportation before you take him to the vet's office. You can practice short trips on a bus, train, or subway. However, understand the vast majority of public transportation options in a city require that your cat be contained in some kind of crate or bag. You probably cannot bring your cat on a subway, for example, with just a harness or in a basket without a lid. If that's how you plan to keep your cat secure at the vet's office, you might want to take a cab or ask a friend for a ride. Part 3. Understanding the risks. 1. Understand vets dislike cats coming in without carriers. Veterinarians and their staff generally dislike it when people bring cats into their offices without carriers. Understand you'll be met with some resistance if you make the decision to take your cat in without a crate. Bringing your cat in without a carrier, especially if he's not secured in something like a sports bag, puts a lot of unnecessary pressure on the staff. Workers in the waiting room have to take extra precautions to make sure your pet is safe and is not injured by dogs or other animals. Also be aware the clinic cannot guarantee your cat's safety when not in a box. For example, a dog off-lead may enter the waiting area who likes to chase cats, and bounds at your cat, who may then get injured. Some vets may actually require cats to be in a carrier. You might want to call ahead and ask first before bringing your cat in without one. 2. Know the safety features carriers provide. Carriers are recommended by veterinarians for a reason. Understand a carrier has several safety features important for your cat. Carriers ensure a safe car ride by making sure your cat does not roam around the car, causing an accident by interfering with your driving. Cats are likely to run away when they're frightened. If your cat bolts out the car door, he might be difficult to find. Vets' offices are generally in areas where there are a lot of cars. This could prove dangerous for your cat. Even if your cat is docile, you can't necessarily predict the behavior of other animals. Many dogs are not friendly with cats, and your cat is better off secure inside a carrier if a dog gets aggressive. 3. Find ways to make a carrier less stressful. If you're mainly opposed to using a carrier due to worries over stress, there are measures you can take to make a carrier less stressful for your cat. Do not just take the carrier out when it's time for a vet visit. Leave it open and out in the living room. Cats are den animals, and they may actually enjoy sleeping in their carriers from time to time. Take your cat on short rides in his carrier now and again. A ride around the block in his carrier will make going to the vet less jarring. As with a sports bag, you can make a carrier more comfortable by putting treats, toys, and other items your cat enjoys inside the crate with him. Tips. Always call your vet ahead of time if you plan to bring your cat in without a carrier. You want to make sure your vet allows this.